What surprised me most, I would say, I was allowed access to a lot of his personal notes, and I realized that he would do mantras, affirmations, and his belief in manifestation was incredible. I didn't realize that about him until I really dived into it. And he would write everything he wanted to achieve. Mm-hmm. He'd write it down, he would repeat it. He'd even meditate for 30 minutes and just look at those mantras and repeat it back to back. He put on mirrors, he put on the ceiling, so you can see it every day, and it really was like...
Before the world called Michael Jackson the king of pop, he was a boy learning how to survive pressure that never seemed to end. People usually begin with the fame, the screaming crowds, the moonwalk, the records broken across continents. But hidden inside old handwritten notes and personal papers was a quieter story, a more human one. The story of someone constantly rebuilding himself because he feared the world would never fully accept the child he used to be. One of Michael's most revealing notes was written in 1979, when he was only 21 years old. Scribbled on the back of a tour document was a private manifesto to himself. MJ will be my new name. No more Michael Jackson. I want a whole new character, a whole new look. The sentence felt both ambitious and deeply sad. Michael did not simply want success. He wanted transformation. Reinvention became a form of survival. The world still saw him as the gifted child from the Jackson 5 singing ABC and I Want You Back. But Michael wanted to become something larger than fame itself. Untouchable, mysterious, unforgettable. In the same note, he wrote that he wanted to become a perfectionist, a researcher, a trainer, a master. Beneath those words was a quieter fear.
He was different. Well, Michael never really had that childhood thing that a lot of us had. He didn't get to go out and play around. And
didn't grow up.
He never grew up. And I was just thinking about that with a friend of mine. I said to my friend, you know, my brother never went to a bar. He's never been able to walk into a lounge or just say, give me a beer or whatever. His life was so different in a lot of ways.
Over the years, Michael's handwritten notes revealed someone constantly fighting to hold himself together. Some were hopeful affirmations taped near mirrors or written in notebooks. I am so grateful that I am a magnet for miracles, love, no violence ever, and emotional confusion. Analysts who studied his handwriting described signs of insecurity, perfectionism, emotional guardedness, and a deep need for privacy. The notes themselves revealed something undeniable. Michael was always trying to rebuild himself emotionally while the world watched him publicly. The transformation into MJ did not happen overnight. It came through years of relentless rehearsals, physical discipline, creative control, isolation, and obsessive attention to detail. He studied performers endlessly. He repeated movements until they felt superhuman. He trained himself to become mythological. But survival always carries a cost. The bigger Michael Jackson became to the world, the harder it sometimes seemed for ordinary Michael to exist underneath the image. People around him often described someone capable of electrifying entire stadiums while still feeling painfully misunderstood in private moments. Decades later, long after Michael's death in 2009, that emotional transformation began affecting another young man in the family, Jafar Jackson.
I'm interested because obviously he's family, Michael's family, it's your uncle. What did you learn about him that you maybe didn't know? Like, you know, diving deep into this character you're trying to honor.
Through the process, what surprised me most, I would say, is I was allowed access to a lot of his personal notes, and I realized that he would do mantras, affirmations, and his belief in manifestation was incredible. I didn't realize that about him until I really dived into it. And he would write everything he wanted to achieve. Mm-hmm. He'd write it down, he would repeat it. He'd even meditate for 30 minutes and just look at those mantras and repeat it back to back. He put on mirrors, he put on the ceiling, so you can see it every day, and it really was like his pursuit to greatness. So I applied that same work ethic and that same belief with how I was preparing, going towards shooting and was very incredible just to see what those notes were saying.
Jafar grew up after Michael had already become legend, controversy, memory, and myth, all at once. He did not witness the rise of Thriller in real time. He inherited the aftermath of it. But while preparing to portray Michael in the biopic Michael, Jafar reportedly experienced something emotionally overwhelming. Not simply because he was learning choreography, but because he began understanding the pressure Michael carried inside himself every day.
Can we just do it again without just the negative saying that you don't like the tour?
I don't like it though.
I know, but say this
I
is,
go through
but what
hell.
Is it setting up though? I don't understand.
I go through hell touring. Okay, then I'll make it positive then.
Yeah, it's just
For you know the truth.
yeah.
Okay.
Behind-the-scenes reactions and early reviews repeatedly described moments where Jafar seemed to disappear completely into Michael. Certain rehearsals reportedly felt almost unsettling to people watching them. Not because they looked rehearsed, but because they felt strangely familiar, as if memory itself had returned for a few seconds. Yet stepping into Michael's world also meant confronting the loneliness hidden beneath the performance. Jafar reportedly studied everything obsessively: posture, interviews, vocal rhythms, rehearsals, pauses between sentences, private mannerisms. Somewhere during that process, he appeared to discover the same thing many fans discover when reading Michael's personal notes. The superstar image was armor. The perfection was protection. Michael created MJ because ordinary Michael Jackson no longer felt safe enough to exist beneath the pressure of global fame. That realization changes the way many... The handwritten notes stop feeling like celebrity artifacts and begin feeling painfully human. A young man writing goals late at night, a son searching for reassurance, a perfectionist trying to outrun pain. Even decades later, the emotional weight of that transformation still echoes through the people connected to him. Jafar inherited more than dance moves or family resemblance. He inherited the shadow of someone who spent a lifetime reshaping himself, so the world would keep loving him. And maybe that is what Michael's personal notes reveal most clearly. Not simply fame, not simply genius, but survival. The survival of a person who kept rebuilding himself every time the world tried to decide who he was before he could decide for himself.